One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. The witches reporting pace his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Well, we all magically are alive and doing well and swell. Great to see everyone in the chat, man. Let's go. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever the hell you guys in the world are. Much love, honor, respect, everybody. We got a huge news morning, as you guys can see, and I'm sure that lots of you guys are actually in tune with what's happening in regards to Mexico, I'm sure by now, because it's been what everyone was talking about yesterday. So the only way that you don't know anything about it is, well, let's just say you only get your news source from me. Well, you haven't heard about it yet. Now, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're not going to focus completely on that whole thing, but it is going to be a large discussion later on in the show, actually. So the way that I have this titled is Mexican cartel leader killed, and then we have Blizzard Blast Northeast, which is, it's happening pretty freaking rough. The Northeast is getting smoked. U.S.-Iran talks, as well as Trump signing. He is supposed to be doing this signing right now. So hopefully he's actually doing that right now. But nonetheless, we have an entire chronological timeline that we have to get through, right? So we're going to be talking about a few things here. Some stuff that happened on Saturday, some stuff that happened on Sunday, and then obviously stuff today. So there was a breaking story on Saturday, I believe. It says 1 day ago, but I think it's... When it says that, it could be 1 day and 23 hours ago, you know? And so I think it happened Saturday. Mar-a-Lago intruder fatally shot, police say, and we have the full press briefing as well. The FBI and Secret Service give an update at Mar-a-Lago regarding that. It says security service man breached Mar-a-Lago security perimeter. Man carrying shotgun and fuel can fatally shot by agents and deputy. President Trump was not there. He was in Washington. Totally weird. So we do have on that whole case right there, investigators identify armed intruder fatally shot at Mar-a-Lago. An armed man drove into a security perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. President Donald Trump's resort in Palm Beach, Florida, before being shot and killed early Sunday morning, according to a spokesperson or spokesman for the U.S. Secret Service. He was identified as a 21-year-old man from North Carolina.
Bruh.
What the fuck? All right. And then we've got something that happened yesterday, Sunday. Florida moves closer to eliminating property taxes, and we have that story for you guys, as well as major cities brace for 20-plus inches of snow from this historic storm that's coming in right now, which everyone's getting smoked from. We have the actual map update for that as well. And then we have Mexican tourist town erupts into war as cartel clashes with army. Foreigners warned to seek shelter. And then we have, as well as Trump holds Angel Family Day ceremony. Blizzard Blast Northeast, and let's see here. Chaos unfolds after drug lord El Mencho, killed by Mexican army. So people are thinking like, oh shit, is this the U.S. involvement? Well, there is to a certain extent. We are involved on an intelligence side of the operation. But when it comes down to like boots on the ground, I don't believe from anything that I've looked at any of these reports, there has been zero reports on boots on the ground for Americans or our army or our any type of military. We don't have them there. Now we do have intelligence that was communicating with the Mexican army, and then the Mexican army went and tried to actually, they didn't try to kill him. They actually tried to arrest him, take him, get him in custody. And unfortunately, shit went left and they ended up killing him. So that's what ended up happening with that. And it says we've got also a really good YouTuber that breaks down he's an analyst like myself, has a really big, successful YouTube channel. I've been following him for a long time on military movements and stuff. So he kind of did a condensed little thing here for Mexico, and I'm going to show you guys that during this whole thing too. And then one of the big updates that happened today is U.S.-Iran latest nuclear talks in Geneva Thursday, Omen says. And then, of course, the historic blizzard blast northeast in the U.S. Let's see here. That is what our lineup is. So it's a big news morning, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are brand new to the channel, this is what we do Monday through Friday, and then we've got Then we have Saturday morning for members only. We have a great time. And listen, I very much appreciate you guys hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button as well. Please consider, though, becoming a member starting only at $3.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to be on these airwaves as well as have these lights on. So I very much appreciate you guys becoming members and staying members. Little side note here, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, the campaign trail. It's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. We also have a Discord server for all of you legends. We have like 95% of you guys, in large majority in there, but I would like that number to be 100%. So make sure you guys go down into the video description down below, and we've got the links for all of that. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and membership sign-up store, of course, all going to be presented live and shouted out onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, by the way, well, then we have these platforms that you guys can donate to. They're scrolling around on the screen. And you can interject, say what you would like. And because I read out donations, I'll read it out just like a super chat. So, and I get to have 100% of the proceeds. You know what I mean? Feels such good. All right, so first of all, in the very beginning here on the opening, Sterling came out and gifted a membership. I very much appreciate that, kind sir. Thank you very much for your contribution and helping not only me, but someone else in the IWF, man. I'm very honored by that. We got Jimmy Mack as well in the building. We got Rabbit of Chaos. We got Naomi as well. We got Prez. Let's see, we got Steve Easy in the Shizel. We got Easy Frank in the building, as well as Tiffany. Good morning to you guys. We got Brother Dean, as well as my man Job. We got Slim in the building. Shout out to you. Good morning, good morning. We've got Motobomb Virginia. Yes, sir. Great to see you this morning as well. We got 5150. Good morning, good morning. We got Josh Phillips over there on the Facebook side of things. Good morning to you as well. And we're catching up. Sorry. We got Liquored Up with Poncho. Good morning. We got SNS as well. Let's see. We got Seymour Cannabis as well. Good morning. We got Jack as well. And Sick Bastard with the raid, by the way. Thank you for that. I very much appreciate that, Sick Bastard. Thank you for the love and support that you've got for the channel here. Let's see here. Yeah, it is hilarious there. We're making sure we say hi to everybody that I can. We got Bill Castle as well as Pablo. Good morning to you gentlemen as well. Good morning, good morning. All right, we're going to get right into this. So, Mar-a-Lago intruder fatally shot, police say, and I do believe this happened on Saturday.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. It is 9:08 on the East Coast and 6:08 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here as we follow this breaking news coming in out of Palm Beach County, Florida. First off, this involves Mar-a-Lago over in Palm Beach, but it's important to note as you take a live look over the White House there, on the right-hand side of your screen, President Trump is there in Washington. He is not in Mar-a-Lago as there is an...
Which is kind of strange. Like, why would you go doing some crazy-ass shit at Mar-a-Lago when he ain't even there? Like, at least know the itinerary. So what is the motive? He had a gas can and a shotgun. What the fuck you trying to do? You trying to burn down the place with a little fucking gas can or some shit?
Active deadly shooting investigation taking place on the property. What I want to do is pop this up on your screen as we await a news conference coming in just a matter of moments here with the Palm Beach County Sheriff as well as FBI and Secret Service. Here is the statement that we are receiving from a spokesperson for the Secret Service. He says an armed man was shot and killed by U.S. Secret Service agents and the Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies after unlawfully entering the secure perimeter at Mar-a-Lago early this morning. A press briefing with additional details will be held at 9 a.m. with FBI and Palm Beach County. As you probably noticed, we are just a few minutes past 9 a.m. However, we have learned that it's been pushed a little bit closer to 9:30. But once we see the podium pop up here,
now we have the podium, by the way. Let's see if they break anything else in this. No, so we heard exactly what we needed to hear on that because he's just going to repeat himself and say the exact same thing again while he's waiting for what we already have right here.
Going to have representatives with the Sheriff's Office as well as Secret Service, Miami Bureau, and
says man carrying shotgun and fuel can fatally shot by agents and deputy.
And the FBI, the Miami office special agent in charge.
What's up, Virginia Chaos?
Well.
Good morning.
So we'll hear first from Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, who is walking up right now.
All right. Couple of ground rules before we get going. I'm going to give you all the information that I
He's giving out ground rules, he said. Shit.
Can give you and I'm allowed to give you. The other two gentlemen with me will give you a brief statement also. After that, we'll ask for a couple questions. We're not going to take a lot, but I want to warn you right now. Make them relevant to exactly what I'm talking about.
Damn. He's like, don't be asking me no fucking stupid-ass questions.
Stupid.
Right? No what ifs. What about this? Don't get off base because we're not going to answer that. We're going to give you what we know. And
I like that. No speculation here.
What we can. All right? So keep that in mind.
Good.
So you good to go?
Let it rip.
All right. My name's Rick Bradshaw. I'm the sheriff in Palm Beach County. I have with me from the FBI, Special Agent in Charge Brett Skiles, Special Agent in Charge Rafael Barrios from the Secret Service. Also, I have Resident Agent in Charge David Clancy. At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and two Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun.
Damn.
He was ordered to drop those two pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the two Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. He is deceased at the scene. I'll give you a picture of the shotgun and the gas can to have with you. So that's what we know now. The investigation continues. The FBI is the lead investigation agency on this case, and we will be assisting them in whatever manner they would like. And they will be responsible for answering any other questions at an appropriate time. Agent Skiles, thank you, sir.
Good morning. Again, my name is Brett Skiles. I'm the Special Agent in Charge for the FBI's Miami Field Office. First of all, I'd like to thank the Secret Service and Palm Beach Sheriff's Office for their quick response in this matter and close collaboration. Since this area of the shooting was under Secret Service protection at the time, the FBI...
And really, all I really care about in this is the sheriff's remarks as well as the FBI agent that's in charge here.
FBI is assisting the investigation. Currently, our evidence response team is processing the scene, collecting evidence, and we'll continue to work the scene for as long as it takes. One thing I would ask the public is if you live in the area of the shooting, please check your exterior cameras for last night, early this morning. If you see anything that looks suspicious or out of place,
what's up,
please contact us at 1-800-CALL-FBI or contact the West Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Rafael Barros. I'm the special agent in charge of Secret Service Miami Field Office.
Oh, and Secret Service. I'm sorry. I forgot that Secret Service was talking as well.
Today, 2 special agents from the Secret Service and a deputy from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office were
What's up, Brother Straight? Good morning.
involved in an officer-involved shooting while responding to an armed individual at one of the gates at Mar-a-Lago. Preliminary information indicates that the individual was armed with a shotgun and a possession of a gasoline canister. Agents and the deputy discharged their firearms to stop the threat. At this time, no law enforcement personnel were injured during the incident. We want to be clear.
Well, that's good. We got chatting with Stacks as well. Good morning, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your Monday morning so far.
The President of the United States was not
What's up,
in the
Joe?
state of Florida.
Jakey?
And
What's up?
this remains an active investigation by the FBI. Thank you.
Or Jake Yeet?
Okay, this is the picture that I'm going to give you of the shotgun and the gas can, so you got it with us. All right, so you'll have that. Like I said, there's a lot more investigation to be done. FBI is the lead agency. We'll be assisting them. And fortunately, nobody was in jeopardy inside because of the quick action that was taken by the deputies and the Secret Service. All right, do we have any relative questions?
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that
All
here, Stacks, here soon.
Yeah, we're going to give it to you. All right? Okay, that's it for today. Say that again, ma'am? There's 2 agencies involved. Sheriff's Office, Secret Service. Well, that's under investigation right now. Okay?
Was this person known to law enforcement prior to the incident?
Not right now.
Can you clarify where on the perimeter it happened? You mentioned by the gate?
Yeah.
At the front gate over there?
Yep. They're the north side.
North side, right.
He was just inside the inner perimeter, yes. All right?
Was anyone involved with
And he's trying to walk away right now, which is, we're about to move on here.
body cameras?
Pardon me?
Was anyone wearing
Because we do have an update on this.
body cameras?
Yes, we always do.
Okay, good. They all had body cameras. Good. All right, so let's go and move on into a little bit more on this story. Investigators identified armed intruder fatally shot at Mar-a-Lago. He was a 21-year-old man from North Carolina, down there at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, trying to do some crazy-ass shit. Well, listen, you know what we haven't done yet? We haven't done the fucking money part yet.
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
True, though. Actual factuals.
Denied.
But I still love you guys. All right, here we go. Let me go ahead and bring this up. 3, 2, 1.
We are continuing to follow some breaking news that we first brought you earlier this morning. And
Ratchet,
this
good
is
morning.
a social media post by the Associated Press about that breaking news, stating that an armed man was shot and killed after entering the secure perimeter at Mar-a-Lago. That is according to Secret Service. And this is a live look here of Mar-a-Lago right here as we continue to follow the very latest. According to the Associated Press, that suspect has now been identified as a 21-year-old Austin.
No, the guy, I haven't heard that. I thought you were kind of memeing there, Jake. But no, not that we know of. No.
Tucker Martin. And we continue to share the reaction as
What's up, Beezer? Good
continues
morning.
to come in. This is from Attorney General Pam Bondi saying that I have been speaking with President Trump and coordinating with our federal partners throughout the morning regarding the intrusion.
I very much appreciate that, Bill Castle. That's one thing that is funny about me. I get to have unmanicured, good-looking, on fleek, unnecessarily eyebrows all the time.
Bruh.
I don't even know why. It's just, I guess, my genetics. But I appreciate that, by the way.
Shooting at Mar-a-Lago. Grateful that President Trump and our law enforcement agents are safe. Now, President Trump was not at Mar-a-Lago at the time of this incident. He is in Washington, D.C. as he continues to meet with individuals. But we are also continuing to follow the very latest developments after an armed man drove into the secure perimeter of Mar-a-Lago, which
Gerald?
is President Trump's resort in Palm Beach, Florida, as another vehicle was exiting. Before that man, though, was shot and killed early this morning. That's a
Real quick, we got Miss Lotus coming in the chat. Very much appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far.
according to the Secret Service. Now, that man who has been identified is from North Carolina, and according to the Secret Service, he was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He had been reported missing by...
Which is so interesting that he did do all of that while Trump wasn't even fucking there.
His family a few days ago, and investigators believed he headed south and picked up the shotgun along the way. Secret Service said a box for the weapon was discovered in the man's vehicle after the incident, which took place at around 1:30 a.m. this morning. The man identified as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin. That person spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss the details of that investigation. President Trump has faced threats to his life before, including 2 assassination attempts during the 2024 campaign. And although President Trump often spends his weekends at the resort, he and First Lady Melania Trump...
That's probably the best answer you could have given straight. That's great.
Were at the White House when this breach occurred. After entering the north gate of the property, the man was confronted by 2 Secret Service agents as well as a Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy. And the FBI are asking residents who live near Mar-a-Lago to check any security cameras they may have for footage.
All right, so that's it from that. So now let's move over to Florida. Yesterday there was some interesting talks of Florida moves closer to eliminating property tax. That's a fucking W. Go ahead and bring that up and we'll discuss it here briefly.
All right, welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. As a homeowner, you always talk about property taxes, but in the state of Florida, they may be going away as a proposal asking Florida voters in November to eliminate most homestead property taxes cleared the House later on this week. The Republican-controlled House, by a vote of 80-30 on this proposal to put a measure on that 2026 general election, would eliminate all non-school taxes on properties with a homestead exemption. Let's take you out to our Fox team there in Florida on what this exactly means.
Is whether the Senate will put something forward and whether it will match what the House voted on today.
What's up, Brother Dwayne? Good morning.
They voted 80-30 along party lines to send an amendment to the ballot that would end property taxes starting in 2027 for homesteaded properties. That would cost local governments about $13 billion. The question for those local governments is whether they would have to cut services, raise fees, or sales taxes. The bill requires local governments to keep funding for public safety services steady. Representatives from public safety groups, though, have said that that's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, Steve. I'm like, what the fuck? I would support you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Those who approve the bill say this is about saving costs for homeowners.
We are the state body that's closest to the people. Floridians asked us to come up here to spend less money, to reduce the size of state budgets. And I'm so proud that for the second year in a row, we have proposed to do just that. They said that they want relief, financial relief. They need meaningful relief.
We need to lead by example in this state and show that the priorities are the people, that the priorities are safer and funded communities for that safety, and that we care about the people we represent by making sure that they can afford to live. This is not a cost reduction. This is a cost shift and a further burden on our families.
Damn, great to see Huggy in the chat again, bro. Welcome back. I know you've probably been super busy. But great to see you in the chat, my man.
And their quality of life in the state of Florida.
The Senate has not put a proposal forward yet. If and when they do, it would have to be supported by 3/5 of the senators. It goes straight to the ballot from there. It does not need to go to the governor. There will also be more lobbying from local officials who now have a specific proposal to campaign against. At one point, there were 8 possibilities.
The governor has not yet made his own proposal, but he has pushed for property tax reform over the last year during press conferences. He says that he is talking with Senate leadership about their possible proposals. Evan Axelbank, Fox 35 News.
All right, thank you so much for that, Evan, and we'll see what comes of it. But momentum toward removing property taxes there in the state of Florida. The House passing that, Republicans on board with it. We'll see if the senators are as well. Let's be joined right now by Florida State Representative Republican Fiona McFarland. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox.
Real quick before she gets into it, it's so funny because we're in the chat, they're having sidebars here, talking about YouTube channels and stuff. Naomi says she could be your mean mod, Steve. And yes, and I'll be the honorary mod, just like how I have wrenches in majority of chats that I go and hang out with. And not because I'm some sort of moderator, I'm not, but I'll be a an honorary mod like you are here, Steve. She
A lot about the benefits potentially for homeowners eliminating this homestead property tax. Why is it so beneficial, and potentially why did you move forward with this?
We already know that, the answer to that, but I'll allow her because it's an actual state representative here. Instead, if it was somebody doing an analysis of this, that's something that I really don't care about, but we actually have a Floridian state rep here.
Thanks so much, Andy, for having me on. It was an exciting day on Thursday when we got to vote on this groundbreaking legislation. You know, as I look to my colleagues up in the federal government, we are so lucky to be in the state of Florida. We have a supermajority Republican House, supermajority Senate, and Ron DeSantis in the governor's mansion.
What's up, Papa Penguin? Good morning.
We're able to get a lot of really good conservative policy done with this united front, and we did that. We voted for the first time to eliminate homestead property. Now, you had a great segment that walked through the details of it, but we have voted to get rid of homestead property tax in the state of Florida. Homestead means it's your primary residence. You make a good faith effort that this is your home. You don't have a second home in another state or somewhere else in Florida. It is where you live. And we have voted, as long as the Senate will be our partners, and then we'll put it to the whole state to vote on in 2026, we're going to get rid of property tax.
And Florida Governor...
Wow. I mean, good on them for making that fucking shit happen. I mean, honestly. Pretty fucking dope. We're going to move on, though, because we have lots to get to, and we're already 26 minutes in. So we try to consolidate everything down into a single hour. We're not trying to stretch shit out. Okay, so major cities brace for 20-plus inches of snow from historic storm. Now, already, that I just wanted to say that because that's the number that they were expecting is 20-plus inches. Now, we're not even going to play that video because we're already experiencing it now. So there's no point in talking about something that's already fucking happened when we have the update, which we have. But I wanted to just say that there was 20 reported yesterday that there would be about 20-plus inches. So anyways, now we're going to go into Mexico first before we get into Iran and stuff like that. Is Mexican tourist town erupts into war as cartel clashes with army, foreigners warned to seek shelter. Now, before I play that one, I think it's best, honestly, if we just play this clip first, and then we can get into some of that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to organize this correctly here. All right, let's go ahead and do this one right. No, not that one. Sorry, chaos. That's the label of it, chaos. There it is. Okay, so this is ABC reporting this yesterday, and then we're going to talk about all of the information we know now.
Was Mexico's most wanted criminal for years. Tonight, Mexican authorities say they've killed the drug kingpin known as El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel.
The response from cartels across Mexico was...
Real quick, Frank, yes, she is laying down right here on this couch that unfortunately you can't see. She's on the other side of the couch on her little prop area where she sleeps. So, but she's here, she's hanging out, she's having a good time. Sleeping.
Swift and violent, trapping Americans and international travelers, including some of our own colleagues.
What's up, Lauren? Good morning.
News reporter Abigail Velez has been speaking with people stranded in Mexico all evening. She's live in our newsroom with more on this operation. Abigail?
Well, Liz Jory, El Mencho was tracked to Jalisco, where Mexican special forces came under fire during this raid. Now, officials say he was shot and died while being flown to Mexico City. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel, which the Trump administration has designated a foreign terrorist organization, is considered by the DEA to be just as powerful as the Sinaloa cartel. And within hours of his death, that power was on full display as cartel members caused chaos across the region.
Real quick, before it does the little scene switch there, real quick, make sure, you, as Brother Jimmy Mack says, hit that like button, man. I very much appreciate you guys. It goes a long way. You guys don't have to like all the craziness that's happening around the world or in our country or whatever. But you guys can like it for me and what we do here. So thank you for that. All right, back to this.
Fear, I guess. The first thing was like you see smoke rising far away. You don't know what's happening. And like, no, I'm not venturing out anywhere. But we did eventually get a message from the State Department saying to shelter in place.
Eyewitness News producer from our sister station in the Bay Area, Juan Carlos Guerrero, is just one of several Americans stranded in Mexico after a day of civil unrest. Early Sunday, Mexican special forces killed El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, a man the U.S. had offered $15 million to capture. The CJ...
It sounded like she said 50 million. The actual number, by the way, is 15 million. I don't know why she said it like as if it was 50. But 15 million was the bounty that the FBI had on this motherfucker.
NG is considered one of the most powerful and aggressive
Thank you,
cartels in
Rabbit.
Mexico, a major trafficker of fentanyl,
Good morning, Jack.
cocaine,
Good morning.
and meth into the U.S. with a presence in all 50 states, according to the DEA. Within hours of his death, cartel members retaliated, setting vehicles on fire and blocking highways across multiple states. That's why even getting to the airport now feels risky.
Real quick, we got Sterling Wheel coming in with the 420. My man saying like button was neutralized. I like that. Thank you for throwing down that 420, man. I very much appreciate that. Goes a long way. It adds up.
Getting there and the hour drive to the airport is the concerning part. We don't know what we may find along the way.
Mexican authorities say the U.S. provided complimentary information for the operation, and a U.S. defense official confirms to ABC News American intelligence helped Mexican forces carry out the raid. The U.S. State Department warned Americans in Jalisco, Tamaulipas, Michoacan, Guerrero, and Nuevo León to stay in safe places. Meanwhile, this was the scene on the ground.
So this is when it was breaking, by the way, yesterday, Fernando. But I do have the updates that we're going to be playing here in a few minutes after this original. It's only 5 minutes, so we only got a couple more minutes
Roads
to go.
blocked with cars on fire, smoke rising over cities, including Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta. Schools were canceled in several states, and businesses shut their doors.
I'm concerned about how it's affecting the shop owners and all the people. You know, it's very scary.
Riverside native Diane Quazum also finding herself in the crosshairs of this drug operation. Her friend and Mexico resident Sharon Murphy saying they've been hunkering down since breakfast Sunday morning.
Wow, that's a humongous W, by the way, Bill Castle. My man, that's awesome. That is great news.
When we finished, the waiter came up and said, you need to go home and get into your house and close your door.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum is now urging calm, saying security forces are working to restore order after the fall of one of the country's most powerful cartel leaders. Jalisco's capital, Guadalajara, is also set to host matches during this summer's World Cup, making security a major concern as the city prepares for a global spotlight. And in a striking coincidence, today marks the anniversary of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman's...
Well, I'll tell you what. After this whole thing, there's already been 17 different states in Mexico that have done some sort of violence over this whole thing. 17 states so far. And counting.
2014 capture.
And I have
Another
that map
moment
for
that
everybody,
sent
too.
shockwaves through Mexico and sparked cartel violence. Tonight, officials say security operations are continuing as they work to prevent further retaliation. Live in the newsroom, Abigail Velez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Abigail, thank you. As that fallout spreads to other Mexican cities, including those near the U.S. border like Tecate, Ensenada, and Tijuana, U.S. citizens and tourists in Mexico are being told to shelter in place.
The violent backlash is halting flights in and out of the state of Jalisco tonight. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam has the very latest from LAX tonight.
We spoke to travelers who've been impacted by those flight delays and cancellations to Mexico. They were frustrated at first until they heard about the fires and devastation. A witness captured video of multiple vehicles exploding in Puerto Vallarta. Huge fireballs burning dangerously close to this big...
You know, that is like Mexican cartel 101, what they do. Blowing up fucking cars and shit. They are like notorious for that shit.
Box store.
That's Costco right there.
Costco.
Fires ignited by members of one of Mexico's infamous drug cartels.
Man, if I were Costco, I'd be like, you know what? I'm pulling out my shit from this war-torn fucking area. Fuck this shit. You know, you know what I mean? Real quick, we got Brother So Loud in the building. Shout out to my man. And we got Keep On K2 Keep On Trucking. My man sending out $5 saying USA, 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 and Canada is gay. K2, thank you very much for sending in a 5-spot, bro. Great to see you. And also, great to see you in the chat, bro. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning.
Its kingpin, known as El Mencho.
Here's the 15. That was, I don't know why they showed it for just a half a second.
Military killed its kingpin, known as...
There's the $15 million bounty. for information leading to the arrest and or conviction of. And then this is his name. And this was sent out by the FBI.
El Mencho. The chaos forced airlines like Air Canada and Air Mexico to delay and then ultimately cancel incoming and outgoing flights in the region. Megan Steele from Fullerton was stranded at LAX Sunday for hours.
We've been here since 8 a.m. and we're exhausted, we're tired.
Hell yeah, Bill Castle, that's awesome.
We're like worn out, but you know, we're making the best of it. I'm just happy that we're here and we're safe.
Safety concerns is what led Carolina Lopez from Whittier to cancel her Volaris flight on Monday from LAX to Leon, Mexico, which is still on schedule.
Our family members are telling us.
All right, so we don't need to hear what your family members are telling you. All right, so we've got a couple of updates from that whole thing, and I'm trying to keep things in a chronological order here. So we have even more of an update that I'm going to show you guys here in a second, but I'd like to present this first from Sky News Australia. They got, they reported on it as well, and so let's go ahead and check it out real quick. Whoops, that is extremely fucking loud. Damn. This is just video clips. They're not actually giving a report, they're just showing. And I wanted to show you guys that. I mean, it looks like total fucking war. Everywhere. 17 different states in Mexico right now are seeing some type of violence like this right now. I don't know too much about it. I haven't been following it. My priorities are elsewhere, nowadays. I'm focusing on this kind of the worldly level, but, yes, that is something that is interesting. I don't know much of the facts, though, yet. So that's the one that you guys were seeing earlier. That's not Costco on fire, but I do believe there is some damage to the building. But they blew up a whole bunch of cars right there. Now you got a shooting Apache helicopter over there. Or Black Hawk, whatever it is. It's a helicopter. Shooting. Shooting and assisting. I mean, just look at that shit. Those are blown up cars where you see the fire. Almost all the fires are caused from a burning car. But they're everywhere. Roadblocks and everything. That's right, Steve. Sterling comes in with the $2 saying, "Dear Cartel, please don't burn Liardo until I leave." Shit. I don't even know who Liardo is. I'm probably saying that totally wrong. But thank you, Sterling, for some context as well. I'll leave this playing because there's, but I'll turn the volume down. So the context is that there was no U.S. involvement boots on the ground wise, okay? So, but we do have our feet in the pool in the aspect of we gave them the intelligence. Now this guy, El Mancho or whatever his name is, he is very seldomly leaving his location. I mean, very, very rare. And when he does leave his location, he leaves with an entourage. I mean, he's got security, he's got fucking all this shit. Anyways, the Mexican government was going after him, and they're the ones that killed him. So now they didn't want to kill him. That's not what they were trying to do. But, sometimes things go left. Guy probably was fighting back, said, "Fuck that. I'm going to start shooting at you guys," or some shit. And the Mexican military was like, "No, we're not going to do that. We're going to now just murk you." But real quick, we got Brother So Loud coming in with the $9.99 saying, "Much respect, bro." Man, I very much appreciate that. Thank you for the 10 spot, my man. That goes a long way. All right, let's see what she's saying here.
It's extraordinary. Mexico's most powerful drug cartel bosses has been killed in a military operation. His name is...
Well, there's, to be clear, there's multiple cartels. And there are some that are very, very powerful. some that are smaller and still very influential. So he's not the number one of the one kind of thing. He is a bad motherfucker, but just saying.
Nemi Sio Oseguera, commonly known as El Mencho. He was targeted by Mexico's military in an operation in the state of Jalisco. Multiple vehicles and shops across the state have been set on fire in response to the killing of the drug lord. Now, members of organized crime have also been clashing with
Exactly. We gave them intel. That's exactly right. The CIA, I'm assuming, is the one that gave the intel. And then the Mexican government took that intel on him moving and went for it and unfortunately killed him. That's the way it went.
authorities. There's waves of violence that have spread over 5 other states. And this is just the beginning, it would seem. Joining me now is Ryan Voitilainen. He is from Vancouver, from British Columbia, but he is a tourist staying in this area of Puerto Vallarta, which many people would know. Ryan, good to see you. What did you see?
Hello.
What's happening right there now? Are you trapped?
We're essentially trapped. This morning we were actually, my partner and I were supposed to be flying out of Puerto Vallarta back to Vancouver.
Yeah, now you're stuck. All right, I don't need to hear about how you're stuck and now everything's delayed and blah, blah, blah. We know that. All right, we're going to move on. I have this for you guys. Now, this is a guy that I follow very closely, have been for years now, actually. It's been, I don't know, 3-4 years I've been following this dude. Anyways, he makes great content. And he did a very short little summary analysis. I mean, he focuses on shape-shifting of the world and military operations, kind of like we do here, but he goes extensive into the actual operation, in-depth, step-by-step kind of thing. Anyways, he's always got some amazing information. I figured that I would, since we're talking about this, and he happened to put out this video, I think this morning? No, he put it out yesterday. He broke it. But I wanted to give you guys a little context because he's got some clips in here that is not being shown elsewhere.
A few hours,
like from the mainstream, you know what I mean? Let me go ahead and bring down this. He's really loud. Here we go.
Ago, Mexico killed El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and one of the world's most wanted drug traffickers. As expected, violence has now erupted across Mexico, threatening to spiral into a full-blown war. Now, this is a developing situation. The violence is still spreading across the country. So we're going to get into what we know so far as of 4 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, February 22nd, what to expect in the coming days, and what it would take for the United States to get directly involved.
What's up, Big Al? Hopefully you're enjoying your morning. Great to see you in the chat.
On that note of U.S. involvement, my understanding now from the reporting that I've seen is that the United States provided intelligence support to the Mexican military. There have not been any official statements or any reliable sources, I should say, suggesting that the United States had any more involvement than that. No U.S. aircraft overhead.
Right.
And certainly no U.S. boots on the ground. That's as of reporting right now. Of course, that could change.
It could absolutely change, but I have not seen that change even in this morning's reports. I haven't seen any of that change.
Now, to give you an idea of how significant this operation was, the Latin Times said, quote, "The killing immediately becomes one of the most consequential blows to a major Mexican criminal organization in years, both because CJNG has been widely described as among the country's most powerful and violent groups, and because
they are one of them.
El Mencho has remained a fugitive despite a years-long binational manhunt that includes a U.S. State Department reward of up to $15 million for information leading to his arrest or conviction." I don't speak Spanish. I feel like El Mencho is pretty close to what it's supposed to be, but I'm sure I'm getting that wrong in some way, and I'll hear about it in the comments. But that's who we're talking about, El Mencho, the head of CJNG. The Associated Press went into a little more detail here, saying the Mexican army killed the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, El Mencho, on Sunday, decapitating what had become Mexico's most powerful cartel. They say El Mencho was wounded in an operation on Sunday to capture him in Jalisco, and he died while being flown to Mexico City. The state of the base of the cartel is known for trafficking huge quantities of fentanyl and other drugs to the United States, according to the Mexican government. They say during the operation, troops came under fire and killed 4 people. 3 more, including El Mencho, were wounded and later died. 2 were arrested, and they said that armored vehicles, rocket launchers, and other arms were seized, adding that 3 members of the armed forces were wounded and are now receiving medical treatment.
Interesting numbers
As is
there.
the case, anytime something happens with the cartels, we've got some old footage popping around the internet showing off some of their armored vehicles. They are more advanced now than they were, and they have.
Oh, now they're insane. I saw a video of it this morning on Instagram. It was like I couldn't even believe what they've got. I was like, damn, they've got some money. You know,
a
what I
lot
mean?
of them. So it would have been more surprising.
Let me see if
had
I
there
can
not
find that
been
clip on
armored vehicles
Instagram.
at the site where El Mencho was captured / killed. And this is just something to keep in mind as the violence continues to escalate. This is so much more than, you know, a street gang or a low-level gang. These guys have armored vehicles. They have rocket launchers. They have machine guns. They are not just they have a lot of drones, and that's going to be an interesting one to see how it plays out if this violence continues to spiral. And they're also very well trained. All right, so this is not quite force on force, like equal playing field, but it's much closer to that than it is, say, in the United States, if the U.S. military were to go after a gang somewhere in the U.S., not a fair fight. This is closer to a level playing field in a lot of ways. Now, the Associated Press added that the DEA considers the cartel to be as powerful as the Sinaloa cartel, one of Mexico's most infamous criminal groups with a presence in all 50 U.S. states. They say it is one of the main suppliers of cocaine to the U.S. market, and like the Sinaloa cartel, earns billions from the production of fentanyl and methamphetamines. So, bad dude, bad leader, or, you know, the bad dude was a leader of a bad organization, I think, to say the least. Right? Now, in terms of the violence that's spreading, a lot of the videos that you're seeing right now is the result of CJNG attacks across the country. We don't have very much from the actual kill capture mission itself, but the burning vehicles, the roadblocks and such, that is the response from CJNG. El Huaso, a great analyst over on X, whose information will be linked in the description below.
Damn, I
put
can't
together
find
this
this fucking
graphic saying
video.
he is now tracking narco-related violence in 18 states. That's how quickly
pissing
this
me
started
off.
to spiral. In fact, on that note, we'll put a couple different sources in the description for anybody that wants to follow this more up-to-date on Twitter or on Instagram. El Huaso is one. Stefano Rittendale over on All Source News, of course, another great one. We've got Stefano coming on tomorrow, hopefully, to do a little more deeper dive into all of this, so be sure to tune back in for that one. Now, we're seeing
Now, hold on. Before he goes in any further, sorry. I'm stuck here trying to find this. I'm going to find something good for you guys real quick. But
at all. Outside of the Mexican government talking about the
right
results
here,
of
look
that
at this
raid,
shit.
everything else is just a
Roadblocks
mess,
everywhere,
is
of
probably
course.
the best way to put it. Don't have details on military personnel killed. We know some of them have been targeted. Don't have information on additional cartel members killed, and don't have any information on civilians caught in the crossfire. However, there was an unconfirmed report, and we have a couple of these to mention today, that the CJNG is prioritizing going after military personnel, which would not be shocking given the fact that the military just killed their leader.
Yeah, and so we already know about that aspect. So let's go ahead and move on from this. We do have an update into the regards of U.S.-Iran this morning, so we do need to get to that, and it is important that we do get to it. It's a little lengthy. U.S.-Iran latest nuclear talks in Geneva Thursday, Omen says. So let's go ahead and bring that up, and we'll discuss that here briefly. And, of course, by the way, always remember to embrace your fuck-ups. You know what I mean? You must embrace
Don't
it.
beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck-ups when you have tomorrow's fuck-ups to look forward to? You are a fuck-up, and fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Indeed, embrace. All right, here we go.
Our attention now to some more of these international headlines that we are following closely. As we know that later on this week, U.S. and Iranian officials are once again going to be meeting for those nuclear talks. Taking a look here at a social media post from Reuters Iran saying that Oman confirms U.S.-Iran talks in Geneva on Thursday.
Oh, shit. Real quick, before we continue on too far, we got Big Al sending us $5 on the Cash App, bro, saying, have fun tomorrow at the Capitol. Yes, I very much appreciate that. You actually, that brings a good point that I need to tell you guys right here since I'm live. But thank you, Alfred. Or Big Al. Should just call you Big Al. Anyways, so I'm going to be going to the state capitol tomorrow. I'm going to be speaking on behalf of J.R. Bowling, so it's going to be a good time, but unfortunately it takes 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to the state capitol from where I live. So I need to be there by 12 o'clock tomorrow. So that means I can't do the show I can't do the show. So, and I'm not going to be back until like evening. So it's kind of like an all day. I'm going to be leaving the house at 9 a.m. actually. It's going to be earlier than I would have even started the show. So anyways, just needed to get that out there. Thank you, Al, for the $5, bro.
Foreign minister confirming those talks that Oman previously hosted the indirect talks on the Islamic Republic's nuclear program and facilitated the latest round in Geneva last week. There was no immediate comment from the Trump administration, which has built up the largest U.S. military presence in the Middle East in decades, as it pushes its longtime adversary for concessions on its nuclear program.
I actually saw that, Lauren. I saw that on Instagram this morning.
And more. I want to talk about all of this as we look forward to those talks. So joining us onto the program now is going to be Dr. Asaf Romarowski. He is the Executive Director of Scholars for Peace in the Middle East.
Appreciate that,
Dr.
Liquored Up.
Romarowski, good to have you on.
Man, and this motherfucker is always on point. I haven't seen him in a minute. He's usually talking about Iran or anything to do with the Middle East. He's pretty much an expert on. Motobomb, very much appreciate you, by the way. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Always appreciate you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So a lot to get to here. Obviously, these talks have been going on for several weeks, but the president has also, President Trump, continued to suggest that limited strikes against Iran could be possible. Based off all the information that we have so far, how do you interpret the current relationship and that status between the U.S. and Iran as those talks do continue later on this week?
And I'll speed it up a little bit here.
So let's break it down. The fact of the matter is that we are cautiously optimistic. As you said correctly, we have one of the largest buildup in the region. We have 2 aircraft carriers in the region. There's a significant amount of air power and firepower in the region itself. And I think that there's a serious understanding that these talks will indeed fail. Iran has one of the longest records of course, lying in every possible.
Well, it's not just the lying aspect, which is, of course, a thing, but not just that. The demands are unrealistic. It is unrealistic. And the United States position knows that. So ultimately, it's going to go to war. That's what's going to happen here.
Juncture, they are hoping from the Iranian narrative.
What's up, Brother Joseph,
that they
up there
will be
in
able
Canada?
To move along something of what happened under the Obama administration in 2015. Vis-a-vis the JCPOA, where they lied blatantly and continued their nuclear program. We know after the June war, the 12-day war, that Iran continues, and Iran has become, is close to a nuclear 90% as far as nuclear capability. That's not something the U.S. or Israel will live with. Not to mention the concern, of course, about long-term ballistic missiles, which also represent existential threat to the state of Israel. I think that they're giving it an opportunity as far as diplomatic talks go, but the way that we are set up now, they are set up very differently than they set up in June for surgical attacks over when it comes to military facilities as well as civilian facilities, depending on where they want to go with this. And let's not forget the amount of civilian casualties that we have seen coming out of Iran under this authoritarian, totalitarian regime, which has been killing its people on the streets.
Yeah, by the thousands.
Left and right for weeks now. So, there's that.
And the amount of arrests, political arrests, are insane.
There's that concern as well. And of course, the basic understanding that the war entirely with Gaza for the past 2.5 years has been part of a multi-front war with Iran. Iran has been trying to get Hezbollah, its proxy in Lebanon, to mobilize as well. So all of these are significant concerns to us and to the state of Israel and to the region at large, to all our partners, given that Iran is the largest destabilizing force in the region at large.
I want to talk about some of these military assets that have been distributed across the Middle East, courtesy of the U.S. So this is a map here. It kind of shows where several of these assets are located at this time.
Yep, and they're still sitting exactly where we reported on this last, which was on Friday. And I totally broke down why this is set up the way that it is, just in case if the Middle East regions don't give us the A-OK to go after Iran. Well, then we've got our European side And this is the European bases are up here, obviously, and they could be using this aircraft carrier to get to Iran this way if the Middle East doesn't give them a go.
And I want to dive deeper on these proxies that you mentioned, Dr. Asaf, because that is also a major concern. Not only are we looking at these nuclear negotiations between Iran and the U.S., but also kind of the several impacts and effects that are being had across the Middle East as a whole because of these proxies. So when we look at these military...
Yes, like Naomi says, make sure you guys hit that like button. Double tap the screen if you're on the vertical side. I very much appreciate that.
Assets that are based here. What kind of deterrence have they offered throughout the last several months after they have been moved in? And what kind of change really have we seen now and going forward?
Well, so the fact that we've mobilized...
Oh, is he saying that he's going live?
Troops in the regions and
if he is, I'll rate
military assets. We have 2 aircraft carriers in the region, as well as the USS Ford, including the Abraham Lincoln. All of this presence in the area should give the Iranians clear indicators that we are serious. I mean, all along and before the Trump administration, the perception by the Iranians in general, they could try to get away with any kind of diplomacy. And there's been all these attempts where basically at the end of the day, we pay billions of dollars with no return, and the Iranians get away with a pass or a pat on the back. The fact of the matter is that after June, there is seriousness that this can happen and will happen when these red lines are indeed broken. To your earlier point about the proxies, so let's be clear here. Iran has funded not only the Houthis in Yemen, also Hezbollah in Lebanon, and of course Hamas in Gaza. These all are direct proxies of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Iran also has ties with Turkey, which of course is also in the region as well, and of course all the enemies of the United States.
Oh, I got you, Kerry. Thank you for that.
As it relates to Russia and China, who've been funding the Iranians, it's all part of that larger circle. But what we have here, and based on your earlier map, you can see this significant connectivity of military assets in the region that shows that really the United States can crack down on Iran in a significant way by mobilizing assets at any given moment here. This is much more different than this is a very different scenario than what we had back in June, where you had 1 aircraft carrier. We used the B-2s. We had the Israelis and the joint effort with the United States, also very significant. Here, what we have here is a much more widespread regional impact, given that we understand that if Iran, when this happens, I mean, and I do think it's a question of not if, but a question of when, this will reverberate onto our allies in the region itself, namely the Israelis, the Saudis, Egyptians, and Jordanians, as we saw in the past. And that's where the U.S. will be able to help and significantly help, given the fact that they want to make a clear stance that they will not stand for a nuclear Iran. And I think that is the ongoing consistent messaging, notwithstanding the ongoing talks that are obviously been given a shot. But again, I think that at the end of the day, it's really hard to see how the Iranians are going to follow through. And the messaging coming out of the Islamic Republic of Iran by the Ayatollahs and by others, they're preparing for attacks. They are trying to mobilize.
Well, I just don't see this whole negotiations going smoothly over there in Oman on Thursday. Or in Geneva, I mean, by the Oman, they said it should be done by Thursday. But I really think that it's very unrealistic expectations to Iran, essentially. And so, of course, you're going to say, no, we can't do that. And then that's going to be basically the A-OK to go ahead and fuck them up. And now we're wrapped up in another fucking ordeal here, and that's what's sadly going to happen. Now, anyways, we're not going to speculate on that, though. I do have something that I did want to show you because I forgot to show you guys regarding the chaos that's happening over there in Mexico. I wanted to show you this specific map. Oops, sorry. I wanted to show you this map. This is the 17 states that responded immediately, basically, of violence. So all the big smoke and car bombings and exploding cars, any type of blockades, all that kind of stuff. That all happened in these territories, 17 states.
Will be linked in the description below. Put together this graphic saying he is now tracking narco-related violence in 18 states. That's how quickly
18. Wow, I was mistaken. 18
started to spiral. In fact, on that note, we'll put a couple different sources in the description for anybody that wants to follow this more up to date on Twitter or on Instagram. El Hoaso is one. Stefano Rittendale over on All Source News, of course, another great one. We've got Stefano coming on tomorrow, hopefully, to do a little more deeper dive into all of this. So be sure to tune back in for that one. Now, we're seeing a wide range of what these response and attacks look like at this point. In terms of casualty figures, really not clear. I've not seen any viable reporting on that at all. Outside of the Mexican government talking about the results of that raid, everything else is just a mess, is probably the best way to put it. Don't have details on military personnel killed. We know some of them have been targeted. Don't have information on additional cartels.
Well, when that information comes out, of course, we're going to be presenting that. Now, the one last thing I needed to show you guys for this morning is this report that came out this morning as well, right before we started the show. I think it's only right, since we're in the right time frame right now. This came out this morning, so this is going to talk about the weather, historic blizzard blast northeast, in the U.S. Now, of course, we're not even going to play the whole 5 minutes on this thing. I'm going to show you guys the facts, and then we're going to get out of here.
Millions of Americans are under blizzard warnings as a severe winter storm is having an impact on several cities across the northeastern part of the U.S. We do have team coverage coming up to us live now. A couple of teams there down on the ground. So we're going to be joined by Haley Fixler over in Fox 5 in New York. She is in Manhattan. But first, Greg Payne with our team at Fox 29 in Philadelphia is joining us down in New Jersey. And I got to say, I'm cold just looking at both of you. But Greg, what are we seeing from your area?
I appreciate that, Jimmy. Thank you.
Yeah, we're over here in Strathmere, and yes, it is cold. But I got to tell you, it's not that bad except for the wind. That is the main issue. And you can just tell how windy it is over here based on the American flag there. And I mean, where we're located at on both sides of us is water. But I mean,
that shit looks like could even be damaged later.
The wind is really the big issue here. Now, there is a lot of snow that has been coming up. It's been piling up. And to be honest, this type of snow, it's that kind of soft snow that it's honestly nice for a snowball fight. But at this point, after having dealt with snow previously in like the last 2 weeks, I know a lot.
Now, this is in New Jersey, by the way.
A lot of people in the area are wanting this to be absolutely gone. Now, the roadways, we have seen quite a bit of plows that have been on the major roadways on the highway when we...
Strathmere, New Jersey is where this is coming out of. Now, we see how bad that is. Now we're going to skip ahead here and see if we get her report.
It is coming down. You know what? It doesn't look...
This is New York City, by the way.
...like a snow globe here, Carell, because the plows have already started to go through the streets. So now you've got some of that brown slush, but it's also a good thing. That means the plows are clearing the roadways. They're kind of making sure that they can stay on top of the accumulation because, like Greg said, in New Jersey, we are not done with the snow here. We're going to keep getting snow later today. But kids here, they are really happy because this is the first full snow day they've had since 2019. So we do expect to see a lot of kids out and about later today, taking full advantage of that. However, with some snowstorms does come some damage. So I want you to take a look at some video. This is video from Brooklyn on 39th Street between 13th and 14th Avenue. There's caution tape blocking off the front part of the building because that awning has collapsed. Cars are covered in snow. And as I mentioned, the plows have really been working round the clock to try and tackle some of the conditions. I know they were out when I headed to work at 2 o'clock this morning, and they've been on the clock since. And in Queens, the snow accumulation already causing some large branches to fall off the trees, pulling power lines down with it. Some of those branches did hit parked cars. We know that Con Ed is reporting about 33.
Yes, good morning, by the way. Great to see you in the chat. Hopefully you decided to stay and hit that like button, by the way. Very much appreciate it.
100 people are without power right now. But again, the snow is not stopping anytime soon. But caution really key here. Officials, they're urging people that if they don't need to go outside, to stay inside. You can see there are some people, well, there were some people just a few minutes ago walking around. We saw a couple people heading to the gym because most people are...
Yeah, in New York City, man, they don't... Nothing stops. They're like, yeah, we're used to this shit. This is what we do out here, you know? Fucking just live in misery. Anyways, listen, much love, honor, and respect to everybody. I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough. Obviously, cannot do this show without you guys. And I very much appreciate all your guys' laborious work on hitting that like button and subscribing, all of that, man. So, all right, guys, we're not going to be back tomorrow morning because, like I told you guys earlier, I'm going to be speaking at the state capitol tomorrow morning, or actually right at noon. So nonetheless, I have to be out of here very early because it's super far from me. So anyways, we'll be back Wednesday morning for more of the World's Madness. Until then, God bless everyone. We'll see you guys very soon. Stay safe and stay warm out there.
From the
depths of darkness, a voice in the dead.